Good afternoon, everyone. Friday, May 30th, 2025. Uh, it was quite an eventful morning, eh? I had a really bad trade, lost about 4,200 bucks, and then made it all back and profited about $1,100 for the day. Um, and the funny thing is, I was right on that trade that I lost money. It actually gave me about 30 points, and I stepped away from my desk for a bit, and then I kept on waiting for it to go back, and it took me out. But then I was able to get back in sync with the market, and I made it everything that I lost, I made it back, plus a little bit of profit, good enough for the weekend. Um, so what do we have right now? What you're looking at is the NASDAQ micro contracts, the MNQM 2025 for June. Very simple what I have. Purple line, purple square, I should say, it's the 931st% fair value gap. Then I have the range, just like I did yesterday. I have the opening range from the high and the low, and that gives me this standard deviations. Okay. It gives me the zero point 0.5, and then it gives me the 1. It also gives you the 1.5 and the 2. Um, but I didn't mark those. I just marked this ones. Now let me take this off shortly, and well, let's see. I want to explain what's on the chart first, so that way I can actually go show the proof of the trade. Now this is 9:30 again, 9:30 a.m. opening price. Let's go to the 5 minute. I don't wanna. All right, so this is what I had today in the market. Relative equal highs pre-market session. During news during the 8 o'clock hour, price dropped. It went back up. This right here was this candle right here was news. 8:30 today. Price opened up. I I saw it dropping. I marked the first percentage for value gap on the 1 minute time frame, and then I marked the high and the low, right, of that opening range. And what I was waiting for was I entered somewhere around this area because I was aiming for those highs. But the market just didn't want to give it to us. It actually went up. It took this high and then it dropped. And that's where I took my loss. So what did I do? We're gonna look at this section, and I'll show you the it's on the other platform, I think. No, that's not it. Okay. Let me figure it out. I'll show it in just a second. Bear with me. So let's go to the 1 minute. This is just a recap of what I did today. I'm not doing anything else. So we're gonna look at this portion, but it's gonna be on the Trade of 8 platform, and we'll look at that right now. So you're seeing the Trade of 8 platform. So basically what happened was I marked the highs, the pre-market highs. This right here is the New York 0.5 standard deviation after the opening range. This right here. And this is the 0.1. Okay. So if I can, you'll see. So this was the first trade that I took. If it gives me the price, I entered at 21,366, and price did go up to take that, but I was aiming for this. Price went up to gave me 33 pips, 33 points, I should say, not forex. And then I was out of my desk during this time, and price dropped. Now look where I closed I closed it right there, 21,301. Okay. So that's about 65 points that it went against me. And this is trading. I was trading 7 contracts on this Apex accounts, 7 different accounts with 5 micros each, and then I changed it to 70 for a smaller trade later on. But then I sold at 21,304. It rallied up against me for a bit, and then it dropped, and I cover 21.27. So that was about 77 points that I gained. So initially I lost 65, and then I made 77. And then I had I was aiming for this low here. I sold another trade at 21,099 and took it for 11 points. So that would have been a total of 88 points positive minus the 65 that I lost. So it was about $1,600 that I ended up with profit for today. Now, as you can see, what I want to highlight right now is price. It dropped right to that 0.5 and then to the 0.1, a standard deviation for the New York session. Okay, and then price just rallied. Let me see, what price is this? This is the 21. It took those lows, price dropped. Actually, I apologize, but this is the low, the 50% for the daily low, daily deviation. And then this is the 1% daily deviation. Let me double check. Yes, that is correct. So now I'll show you in just a second. Okay. So as you can see now, you're looking at my trading view chart. And this is the day Started yesterday at 6 p.m. New York time. This right here is the low of day 0.5 standard deviation, low day 1 standard deviation, and then you have New York 0.5 standard deviation, and then New York 0.1 standard deviation. Look how it respect that for today for New York. It's the same thing that I explained to you guys yesterday. Look how it respected the low day 0.5 standard deviation yesterday. Now I do mark the high, the aims, the standard deviations for the high and the standard deviation for the lows. That I do mark, because if we're bullish, that's my target 1 and that's my target 2. If we are bearish, that's my target 1 and that's my target 2. And if I'm doing just a New York session, then there you go. Okay. So that's what happened. Overall, it was a good trading session today. Right now, price is uh, on the 2 o'clock macro, the 150 New York to 210, and price is just staying in a range. We may bump in, go back to the 930 first percentage for value gap. That's what we might be aiming for. But overall, it was a good trading day. Made some profit, made some mistakes, but overall, I was able to overcome those mistakes, and we made some profit. Let's go back to the trade of bait. As you can see, that was my initial buy. Went up, gave me 30 points, 33 points. Didn't take them. Closed at a loss. Sold again. Cover. Sold again. Cover. This total was 88 points. And now price is retracing. Pay attention to those standard deviations. What you're gonna find sometimes is you're gonna find them to be very sensitive to price. If it's trending, it's going towards those, and once it hits them, it gives you a a retracement, just like it did here. Okay, it's a good thing. I've been using it, and it's been working in my favor so far. So that was my trade on my Apex account, my 7 Apex account that I'm copy trading. But I also took a trade on my personal account, and I took 15 points on that one as well on a short. Um, and that one I will show it to you in just a second. But Yeah, we're gonna go for that 9:30 a.m. first percent for value gap. But I wanted to show you the trade that I took on my personal account. It's a small trade. Okay, so um, as you're gonna be able to see in just a second. Okay, so you should be able to look at the my account today, and basically what you're looking at is if you look at the bottom, it tells you my entry price. I sold at 336.5 and then I bought at 323. That was 13.5 points. And this is the account that I started with $542, and look at that. It's not much for a lot of people. It's not, but it's a personal account that I'm growing from a very small balance, and I'm proud of where it is. Um, we're gonna continue working with it, and we'll see where it takes it. Next goal is 10,000, and then after that it's 15, 20. I'm gonna do it in 5,000 increments. I started this account in March 5th of this year, 2025, and already in 2 months I brought it up to that. It's about to be 3 months. So yeah, pretty stoked with that. And now let's get back to the live trading, to the tape rating. I I think price it's definitely gonna go back to the 930 first percent effort value gap. I don't think, however, I do not think we're gonna go for those highs today. I think we're gonna close very close to this, to the first percent effort value gap. So overall, it's been a good day. I showed you my bad trade on my Apex accounts. I showed you how I overcame that trade today by getting in sync with the market. And then on my personal account, I showed you a small trade that I took. Um, now I told you right now where I think the market is going. I think it's going to the 930 first percent effort value gap, and then we'll see from there. With that being said, it was a good week. It's been a good day. Have a nice weekend. Be brave. Be safe.